in siting a standard landfill, you need to look at the generation source, that is where the waste is coming from, and look at the distance to the generation source. At the same time, you look at human activities around the area. So we normally site landfill where there is no human dweller. Dwelling activities is reduced so that the impact of that waste that you are disposing at the landfill will not affect human life. In a nutshell, both landfill, dump site are being modernized now. If you look at European countries and US, they still have landfill, but they are reducing the presence of landfill. Reason is that their own waste is being separated right from generation source, and that's right from the homes. And if you look at our own eating habit here, we produce mixed waste called heterogeneous waste. They too produce sometimes mixed waste, but they separate it. So it finally comes out like homogeneous waste, because they have it in their law and they have it in their habit that plastic waste, paper waste, aluminum waste, those that are recyclable, called the non-biodegradable, they are being separated. And they meet those people, those waste now contribute close to 30 or 40% of our waste in Nigeria. So the remaining 70 or 60% are organic waste that could be useful for another thing. And that is either you compost it to be organic fertilizer, or you landfill it to biodegrade, and you collect it produces gas, and that's methane gas, and you use the gas, which is methane gas, to power a turbine, or you can it to use for home cooking. So when you want to say about waste management has 6 components that you must follow. And those components include: you monitor waste from the generation source, where it's being generated from home, up to storage. The storage means both primary and secondary storage. The one you store in your kitchen is primary storage. The one you store outside the homes, it might be communal one, it might be one in the plastic bin. They are referred to as secondary storage. Now, the next component is transportation. Putting the right vehicle, the right equipment to move the waste from generation source is what we call transfer. You are moving it from there to another level. And that another level is to the treatment plant. And that is where transfer station is useful. Like the case of Lagos State now. Lagos has no more land. Lagos is now being looked at like London, Paris, where they don't have any land again for landfill. You understand? The way they have land now should be about 40 to 50 kilometers away from the city. You're talking of Badagry, you're talking of Ekpe, and don't forget those areas to have high water table. So to say you want to construct landfill there too, you may have run into problem. And don't forget of the transport chaotic situation of Lagos. So if you are looking at all those ones, you see, to even say you want to do landfill, you have to site it not far from generation source. If you are siting it far from generation, you must construct transfer station. And the transfer station, I think structure, some are already in place in Lagos, but it's not enough. We have one in Agege, which was newly constructed maybe about 5 years or 4 years ago. The one that they planned in the 70s, during Jakande administration, they have the Charity, one in Charity. It's a composting plant with incineration plant. It will compost and it will incinerate. But that plant has never been used. That space is still there. They can come. Then the Simpson was rehabilitated by the World Bank late 1999-2000, I think, before the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He was the one that commissioned it. after the rehabilitation by the World Bank. But the machines they put there is just to carry loose waste from the city without no treatment, no compaction, and you throw loose waste from through the hopper into the loading trailer. So you are just doing a kind of rigmarole in that area. So it's not, they're not doing even any sorting. So we need more of those transfer stations in Lagos. My problem is, what is the volume of waste Lagos is generating? How much are they making? The new law that created this system called Cleaner Lagos Initiative, is it a win-win game for both the public and the government? See, I give you statistics. When I was handling the dump site, one of the dump sites in Lagos in 2004, I was handling the Solus dump site. It was during the time I was handling the Solus dump, we identified Solus 1, Solus 2, and Solus 3. They are all filled up. Olusosun is filled to capacity. That's where that dump site receives 80 to 70% of all the waste in Lagos. As at 2004, 2005, Lagos was generating like 7,000 tons of waste every day. Now, by 2009, 2010, they were generating about 9,000. Currently, they are generating about 13 to 14,000 tons every day. What capacity do we have to even move those waste? That was when I challenged the former governor, Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu, before we embark on the rehabilitation of the dump site. I said, sir, if you don't pay attention to waste management in Lagos, rubbish will chase you out of the office. He said, what do you mean? I said, sir, that rubbish you are seeing is gold. We need to put value added into it. We create employment, and we make money for the state. And he said, prove me right. I said, sir, let us rehabilitate those 3 dump sites. And by the time we rehabilitate those 3 dump sites, we create more jobs. That is when the scavengers now start having recognition. We now came out with a law then, that the Lagos State government came out with a law prohibiting the truck pusher. They now encourage public, that's the public, to come and invest. And the governor championed this by inviting some of his friends and the political ally, who now started bringing in trucks, and they registered them into ward, local government, and giving them recognition. And Loma was busy doing its regulation role, and Loma too was giving some of the highway to take, because you can't put all your eggs in a basket. What if the private sector says you are not paying me enough, and one day it's down too? So you have your own people to carry on. So that is what reservation I have with this one now. That if you say the new people who are coming, do they know the terrain of the operation in waste management in Nigeria before they bring their investment down? Have they done the feasibility study? Did they do this before they embark on it? The vision scheme. The waste management is not only to provide trucks. My question is, if they collect waste from Surulere now, and they say they are taking it to Epe, the turnaround, what you are seeing on the road now, is because of the lack of provision of dump sites that can hold the volume of the waste. Their turnaround from moving from Lagos, Oshodi, Mushin, Somolu, you want to take the waste to Badagry, you want to take the waste to Ikorodu, it's not possible. They might not go more than 1 trip a day. And what waste management entails is from one component to the other. If one link is missing, that's the result you see outside. You would think they are not doing anything. What if, like Simpson Street, Simpson's transfer station is operational, Charity is operational, We need integrated waste management facility solutions to solve the problem of waste management in Lagos State. One, it will create employment, bring in more people, and that is what the state government, I think that's what they have in vision why they invited this businesscape to come in. But the way I assess them is this. It seems like somebody who wants to build a house that is starting from the roof. You may have problems with that. And what do I mean by that? The dump site is not ready. The old dump site is filled up. You don't have transfer stations. You don't even have what is the treatment method that you need to put in place to reduce the volume of waste that is going to the final destination. And that is what makes me to say we need an holistic approach. What I mean by integrated waste management approach is this. We need both incineration. Because of the peculiar situation of Lagos right now, no availability of land. You need to be central like that of Ojota. In the past, they used to dump at Bagada, Isolo. They are all closed down. The same thing that is happening to Olusosuna has happened to those places. Now, the state has to think ahead. There is no room for landfilling. If you even want to do landfilling now, you have to now liaise with Ogun State because access road is very, very crucial. If you liaise with Ogun State, maybe Isheri, maybe Mowe, Ibafo area that have a lateritic structure, they can ask a private company to go and design and construct a landfill there. But at the same time, they have to cooperate. The area of transfer station is very, very important and it's crucial. If in the US, they are talking about waste management body contributing economic viability close to $9 billion or $10 billion annually. Why is our own different? And we have tried it before. Do you know how many people the past administration in Lagos State employed in the waste collections, the so-called PSP? They have over 100 PSP registered under Lagos State. Each person, each PSP have about 4 people working with them. Those are direct ones. What of indirect? If you go to Olusosun today, you have over 4,000 or 3,000 scavengers working there, selecting or removing recyclable material. They too, they are on the value chain. If you now look at driver that has 3 wives, 1 wife, 3 children, about 4 people are there having a kind of indirect in the micro economy in waste management. Now, the revenue that I remember when we wanted to start the collection of waste management fee in Lagos that time, when we tried it, we used NEPA bill to start charging people. There was a month we made 500 million naira into the cover of Lagos State government from waste management.